Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jim Nelson and Frank Winkle here to begin the new Eagles basketball season. And if you can hear behind me, the noise and the excitement start, Frank, as we head into another basketball season. I think this is one of the most exciting sports times of the year.
Oh, I think so, Jim. And this should be an exciting season here at Norristown. The team last year had a 19-6 record, and they're returning 3 starters.
I know I talked with Coach McGee earlier this week, and he's really looking forward to this because the 3 starters coming back are all really quality people. And if he can blend in the other 2 guys, find a way to control the backboards, we have a chance of having a really good season.
Well, I think there's a couple key things. One being, how strong is Scott Nealman, who is 6'8"? He has to replace Ian Morris, and you remember Morris last year was tough under those boards.
Yeah, Morris also made All-League, and you're not going to pick up those rebounds or those points that easily, and that's probably going to be the hardest thing. Who's going to do the scoring? Who's going to get some of those rebounds that Ian got?
And another key question is, do we have any outside shooting, or do we have to score everything from underneath? It's, you know, the tough games, you need somebody who's going to consistently hit that 10-foot jump shot. And it's going to be interesting to see who that's going to be this year, if anyone.
Yeah, and actually that's been something that's been sorely missing the last few years for Norristown. Somebody that could count on to do that.
Oh, yeah, I remember back to the days of Kenny Cool and Binky Johnson. You could always count on them to hit that jump shot. And the last few years, we haven't had that consistent guy who, you know, if he gets within 10 feet of that basket, he can put it up there.
What can we expect to see on the defensive side from the Eagles, do you think, this year? Pressure?
I really don't know, because I don't know how fast our 2 big men are. Starling and Nealman are question marks. I must say they didn't appear that fast last year, but to play defense, you need speed. And whether we play zone or full court, man-to-man, and so on, it depends on the speed we have. In fact, I'm interested in seeing exactly what McGee does.
Yeah, the other thing I think about Scotty is a question of his stamina. How many minutes are we going to get out of him in any given game?
Well, that's another thing. How many guys are we going to play? We're used to playing 7, 8, 9 players. How many are going to be able to play this year? Do we have 5? Do we have 10?
I was told earlier this year, Ted Monaco, who we both know we had in class and is their chief scout this year, worked with him in the summer league, and he said he expects to see him go 10 deep, and that they will be using 10 players.
Well, you know, that will really help your defense. And I'll tell you, defense is always there. When your shooting is off, the defense is usually still there. So to me, defense in the high school ball is a much bigger factor than offense.
Hey, let's look at opponents for tonight, Frank, and really both tonight and Monday night. Theory being apparently play some tough opponents early on. Westchester Henderson tonight, playoff team, came along strong at the end of last year. Has a big man, John Robinson, who's supposed to be one of the quality players in this area. And then next Monday night, Penwood, a perennial power. Do you think it's wise to play these teams early?
Oh, I think so. This is, in a way, you like to start off with some easy games and wins, but to me, having these tough games first will answer a lot of questions and show where the work is really needed. Much more so than if you play some team you simply run all over.
Another encouraging sign tonight, Frank. We look across from us, and the stands appear to be fairly well represented here, on also a lot of noise. I love that atmosphere.
Oh, I think this is going to be a team people will love to watch, and I hope the fans really do come out. And this is a team of good boys, you know. I think they're really going to be a great team to watch play ball.
Yeah, we both know we enjoy the basketball. We followed them for the last quite a few years and going with them all around. It's just really fun, particularly when you get into a place like Coatesville, where the place is packed and the fans really follow their team. We'll be back. We'll be ready for tip-off very shortly as the Eagles begin their 1994-95 season with a very tough Westchester Henderson Warriors. Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready for the tip-off. We should have the announcement of the starting lineups, the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Before we know it, we'll be back into the 1994-95 basketball season. As we said earlier, Frank, I was talking with someone earlier who's from Indiana and talked about Hoosier hoopla and Hoosier madness. I think we have a lot of it in this area. This is a really good basketball area.
Oh, I think it always has been with the Big Five and, of course, now the Big East. I think this has really been a great basketball area. And of course, at the college level, everybody's expecting big things from the Big East this year.
We grew up with the time of the Palestra, and you remember going down to double headers there. And of course, you were a part of that St. Joseph's Hawk mania. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you were inside that Hawk uniform, and you just haven't let us know about that.
No, but I knew the Hawk very well, and I was lucky enough to have Jimmy Lynham as a roommate.
Okay, we all know where he is now. How come our Eagle isn't here tonight? Where do you suppose the Eagle is?
I don't know. What they're reading now for the fans, there's a new statement from the PIAA that has to be read before every game as to the rules the fans must follow.
Now that's good to see. Do you remember quite a few years ago when we went down to the Palestra to the playoffs and we went through all that, and our fans were so well behaved, and we watched other schools who were just horribly behaved?
Well, this year they say they're going to put the people out. There can be no profanity, sexist or racial comments, especially toward the officials or toward any of the student athletes. Any individuals making such remarks will be removed from the site.
Actually, I like to see that, because that has no place at any athletic event. Let the event speak for itself.
Well,
we know how much fun this can be.
Jim, I remember when I was in high school, and if someone was shooting a foul shot, there was total silence. You wouldn't think of making a sound during a foul shot. Of course, that has changed even at the college level.
Westchester starting lineup tonight, a senior-dominated squad as opposed to ours. Number 13, William Folks. Number 23, Scott Dennis. Number 43, Kevin Bott. Number 55, Kevin Colistra. And the big scorer and the player to watch, number 51, John Robinson, who along with Tyrone Burton, who was playing college ball this year, were the big guns for Westchester last year. Looks to me as though they're introducing the entire Norristown squad. Frank, I think Coach McGee, I have a feeling that he has some pretty high expectations for this team this year. You know, most coaches, you have to be a little bit careful because you don't want to oversell your team. But he's got to feel pretty good about this squad that he has.
Yeah, as I said, Jim, the only thing I see missing from this squad, or maybe it's not missing, but we haven't seen it yet, is someone with that outside jump shot. They have good height. In fact, in tonight's game, we have a height advantage, which is very rare here at Norristown.
Yeah, well, we have three preseason games to watch this. Tonight with Henderson, Monday night with Penwood, and then next Wednesday over at Downingtown, before we open in the league next Friday night. So you know that Coach McGee is looking for those things, because there's certainly some things he wants to get settled. He's going to want to see how well Lever can govern this team. And as you mentioned earlier, how well Starling and Nealman fit into the starting lineup and how many minutes Nealman can give him. Starting lineup for the Eagles this year is going to feature number 40, Lofton Thompson, 6'2" 10th grader. Number 42, Mike Starling, 6'4" 12th grader. Number 44, the court general. Number 11, 5'9" Jimmy Lever. Number 45, 6'3" senior James Lopp. And number 55, 6'8" 12th grader Scott Nealman. And Frank, that's a big high school team. We are not a small team.
Yeah, this is the most height we've had in a long time. Now we're going to have the national anthem. Norristown cheerleaders singing the national anthem, led by senior captains Heather DePiro, Lori Lester, and Tammy Kane.
Again, I have to say, Frank, how good it is to look across the way and see a fairly sizable representation. Although, once again, we always wish that there were more of our students. I think more of these are graduates or parents than they are necessarily students.
Well, you know, Jim, I asked some of my classes about that. My classes are all seniors. And what I was shocked to find out was the number of students that have jobs and work on a Friday night.
Now, with the college expenses being what they are, things along those lines, you can certainly understand why so many of them work. Okay, we're ready for tip-off. You can hear the crowd beginning to get revved up. This should be a very good indication tonight of how the Eagles are going to perform this year. Starling jumping against number 51, John Robinson. We're ready to go. Robinson controls the tip over to Folks. Folks almost loses, gets to Bott. Dennis is over on his right. Bott is outside, being covered by James Lopp. Looks like Eagles playing man-to-man, Frank. There's Callistra. Callistra goes to Robinson. Starling's got the tough defensive job. There goes Folks. Folks bound for quick hands. Nice try there by Lofton Thompson. Tried to save the ball. Goes out of bounds as he tried to hit it in. Bott inbounding off to our left. There's the play out to Folks. Folks being played by Lever. Over to Bott. Looks inside, nothing there. On the dribble outside over to Dennis. Dennis being played by Thompson. There's Folks up high, very near the center line. On the left-handed dribble, Starling picking him up. We're going to have a foul. Foul's on Starling. First foul of the game. Reach-in foul as Folks drove around.
It seems to be a good man-to-man matchup as far as height goes, Jim.
Yeah, the interesting one will be here. Starling, new to the lineup, covering Robinson, who really has a lot of experience. Offensive foul, Bott. For 43, his first.
Boy, that was scary. I thought it might be Starling's second.
A little bit of pressure being put on by Folks, but Bott not down covering. Lever with the ball. On the move with a crossover dribble. Quickly beats pressure. Henderson looks as though it's playing a zone. No. No, Henderson also in a man-to-man. Starling with the outside shot off the rim. Rebound comes to Lopp. Lopp with a jumper. No. Battle underneath. Thompson controls on the drive. Shot up. No. Nealman underneath. Ball blocked by Callister. Nealman back. Hit by Robinson. Thompson controlling. On the drive. Stagger move. Lofton Thompson. Right-handed finger roll. Nice move by Thompson. Good defense by Henderson, but
well, we took it.
Eagles stay right there.
You could see our height advantage there, getting 4 rebounds in a row.
There's Robinson on Starling with a move. Could be an offensive foul. No, we have a travel.
I thought that was an offensive foul. I thought he pushed into it.
Actually, we've seen plays like that go either way. Here comes Lever, easily breaking the pressure. Lever looks pretty quick out there, Frank. I'm not sure if Folks can stay up with him. Thompson with the ball, Bott on him. There goes Lopp with a 3. Tie off the board, Robinson with his first rebound. Comes back to Bott. Bott on the dribble. Again, a reminder, Henderson is a veteran club. They start 4 seniors. Folks is a 10th grader. Dennis with the ball. Looks for Robinson. This time Nealman has him. Robinson on the move. No. Foul's going to be on Scotty Nealman. And so far, Frank, it's interesting. Both of our guys new to the starting lineup here are the ones who have drawn the task of stopping Robinson, who is without a doubt a key to the Warriors' offense.
I wonder if they'll switch off on him depending on who has the fewest number of fouls.
Well, they're going to have to keep, I think, Nealman and Starling, unless they're willing to put a smaller player on them.
As they accumulate fouls, they might. Whoever has the least number might be.
I might be there in 10 already. Robinson makes them both. The 2-2 tie with 5:55 left in the first period. Lever on the dribble. Henderson still playing man-to-man. Nealman up high. finds Starling. Starling's got the open jumper, doesn't take it. Over to Lever. Lever launches a shot, no good. Rebound, strong off the board. Kaliska comes up to Bott, not wasting any time. Lop's got him. Over to Dennis, back to Bott. Bott on the move. Lop cuts him off. He has nothing there. Back to Dennis and outside to Folks. Folks is up near center court. We have Lever playing him. We got a Norristown substitution right away. Goes a drive. Foul is on one of the Eagles' big men. Foul is on Starling. I think that's his second.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I didn't know whether he went 4-4 or...
Off the Eagle bench very quickly. 11th grader, 5'7", Omar Jenkins. And number 54, 6'2", inch 11th grader, Jason Graham. And Teddy Monaco was telling me about Graham, Frank. He said, here's a guy to watch. And you know, this is something unusual. 2 players off the bench in the first 2.5 minutes for the Eagles. Hook shot up good. Puts the visiting Warriors up 3-2. Folks ready with the second shot. He's got it. Eagles trail by 2. Nealman on the toss-in. Comes to Jenkins. Pressure, which Jenkins breaks. Up to Graham. Graham on the moves. Got the basket.
Looks like they made the trade-off of speed for height.
Yeah. Except Jenkins is probably pretty quick, and he's a little dynamo out there. Kaliska with the ball. Nealman playing him. Who's picking up Robinson? Graham. Graham 6'2", Robinson 6'4". Let's see what happened. I think we had an infraction in the lane too long. Jenkins goes up to Lop. Lop, Dennis playing him, but falling back, so Lop has a chance to move the ball. On the drive, tosses up an off-balance jumper. Nealman with a ball. Batted away, I think, by Robinson. Pass comes over to Lop. Lop with a shot, no good. Rebound, Robinson. Off to Folks. Folks on the move. Over to Dennis. Dennis throws up the jumper, no good. Battle for the board, comes back to Dennis. Thompson on the steal. Lop picks it up. Lop over to Thompson. Thompson on the move, got it. We're going to have the foul on number 43, Kevin Bott. Timeout quickly by the Warriors. I think their coach is concerned that the Eagles are getting down court and getting some easy shots.
You know, Jim, a couple times there, under the offensive boards, you could see Nealman get a rebound and pull it down, but then not be able to put it up for the shot.
Yeah, but the good sign of that is, Frank, I don't remember him being that aggressive underneath last year.
But it shows you the advantage of being able to tap it up the second time instead of pulling that ball down.
Yeah, well, certain Coach McGree will work on that and get him doing that. So early impressions, Frank, from what you see about the Eagles. Any comments?
Well, they have speed, they have height. Again, I'm waiting to see somebody make that 10-foot jump shot, because that's the one that's usually there all the time.
7 deep already, that's interesting. James Lop certainly not bashful about throwing that ball up, and one of the things we saw last year, you like to see balanced scoring, because remember a few years ago when they had Kenny Coon, we went up in the playoffs and lost because he was off one game, and it was in the inner districts. So you like to see all of the guys being able to hit. Nealman, Lop, Jenkins, Graham, and Thompson out there for the Eagles. Thompson, who has 4 points in the early going, will be on the foul line shooting one. That's the way I can see this, okay? Have a fine young statistician we're breaking in this year, Matt Lucas, who I have in class this year. Real nice young man, player on the JV game, Frank, participated early. We're just like the varsity. We look for those sophomores and juniors to help us out. Folks on the move. Jenkins pressuring him outside. Folks with the dribble. Over to Robinson. Robinson back to Folks. In. Oh, let's see this one. We got a block. That's actually a good call. Thompson got over a little late.
I'll tell you, this guy Jenkins is really quick.
Frank, an early thing. 4th foul against Norristown in the first 4 minutes. You sure don't want to put a team in a one-on-one in the first quarter. Inbound pass comes over to Folks, fakes the shot, coming outside, goes across to Dennis. There's Jenkins pressuring him. I think the Eagles might be in a zone now, Frank. Rebound by Bott, no good. Graham comes off with a board. Check that next time down. I think the Eagles switched into a zone. Here comes Lopp. Lopp on the move. We're going to have a blocking foul. Foul's on number 55, Kevin Callistra. That's his first. Third foul against Henderson. Lofton Thompson inbound, over to Jenkins. Jenkins goes into Jason Graham. Graham with a jumper. No good. Battle on the boards, coming out. Robinson, but Lopp controls. Almost goes backcourt. Over to Jenkins. Jenkins up high, folks coming out to meet him. Jenkins on the left-hand dribble, comes back out to the center, reverses to Thompson. Thompson looks for the jumper, doesn't have it. Up at the foul line, he's got it.
Nice shot.
Lofton Thompson with 6, 8-4 Eagle lead, 3:14 left in the first period.
And Jim, that's the shot you want to see. That little 10-foot jump shot.
And I was told by Thompson, he impressed me last year, Frank, as a 9th grader. And I think in the future, you remember his brother Jeff, I think he can be one of the best ball players we've seen come through here.
Oh, I know. He reminds me so much of his brother.
He's only a sophomore. If he grows, a couple inches, Lever back in for Norristown. Bott underneath the inbounds. Looking around, doesn't find anybody. Finally finds Callistra in the corner. Graham playing him. Lopp into Bott. No play there. Robinson trying to get up. Nealman meets him. I think that's Scotty Nealman's second foul too. And there's a concern, Frank. The two biggest guys, each with 2 fouls.
And here comes another sub we haven't seen in the game.
I think this is Jason Griffin, who played in the JV. No, that's Daryl Ray, 6'4". He had to play football, Frank. Okay, Eagles 8 deep already. Shot up by Robinson, he makes it. Robinson's 3 for 3 on the foul line. Brings the Warriors within 3. Second shot up off the front of the rim. Graham up to get the rebound. Good board by Jason Graham. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Thompson inbounding to Lever. Here's Lever at the top of the key. Dribbling. Throws up an off-balance jumper, no good. Rebound to Dennis. Dennis to Bott on the dribble. Bott up with a reverse move. Good move underneath the Rob. Oh,
nice shot.
Nice pass by Bott for the assist. And Jason Graham got hit, I think, in the nose. Nice move by Robinson. You keep them running. 5 points for John Robinson in the early going here for Henderson. There's a pass knocked away. Dennis picks it up over to Folks. Folks coming up, finds Bott open. Bott doesn't take the shot, drives it on the move, no good. Rebound battle, Bott on the rebound, ball on the floor. So that Lopp takes it off. Bounce pass to Lever. Lever on the move, ball knocked out of bounds. Foul, looks like it's on Scott Dennis as Lever made the move to the basket.
This is kind of interesting, Jim. It's more fast breaks and speed than I really expected to see this early in the season.
Omar Jenkins comes back into the game replacing Graham. So Norristown goes a little smaller but a little quicker. There'll be Lever on the line, should be shooting 2. First one's up, he's got it. 9-7 Norristown, 2:08 left in the period. Lever ready with a second shot. Ball airborne off the rim, rebound goes to Dennis. Dennis to Bott. Bott looking up, sees Folks on the drive.
Nice.
James Lopp with a real strong defensive play. Now, Frank, we need names for all these things. We got to work on that. We'll give that task to Matty. Matty's got to come up with a name for a Lopp block like that. Can't be a Lopp, well, I don't know, Lopp block? What do you think? Close enough? Nah, Matt can do better than that.
Oh.
Monday night, we expect Matt to have this. I'll check him out in class Monday. I could tell a funny story about Matt today, Frank, but I won't do it.
You better not. He might not come back.
That's true. We had something funny happen in class today. We enjoyed it. That should be a charge. I find that one hard.
Yes,
Charging foul on number 45 Locke. His first. Norristown 6, and Norristown will be in the 1-on-1 from here on in for the first half.
Jim, for 2 minutes now, I've been trying to figure out whether we're playing zone or man-to-man. It's hard to tell the way they're going up and down the court.
I hope that's because they're disguising it so well, and not because our players are not sure. Robinson with a bucket. He's got 6. Comes number 33, Ty Crutchfield, a 6'3" 11th grader. And Frank, you know something we noticed already? We have a lot of younger players back next year who are getting game experience.
Yeah.
Robinson makes them both, ties the game at 9. There's 1:39 left in the first quarter. Bott up high on Lever. Folks has dropped back in the zone. There goes Thompson in. Ball is up, good. Lofton Thompson, 8 points, 2-point Eagle lead. Folks, quickly over to Kalistra. Jump shot, no. Rebound by Ray.
I'll tell you, Jim, for
Ray
a big
over
man, Ray really gets up there.
There goes Thompson with a jumper. He's got it.
And that's the shot we want. That's the shot that's tough to stop.
Lofton Thompson, red hot in the early going. And Frank, we need a break in the action or I'm never going to be able to keep up with this. I'm going dry now.
Looks like we're playing man-to-man.
There goes Robinson. And, you know, Robinson by himself is going to get this whole team into foul trouble. Foul is on Ray. That's his first.
Well, it looks like we've got enough depth. We can go a long way.
Frank, I don't think Coach McGee wants to finish up the game with his 6 through 10 players.
That's for sure.
I'm pretty sure he would tell me that. Robinson makes the first, 13-10.
I'll tell you, he puts
Robinson,
that ball
6
up
for
there
6
like
on the
he's been
foul
doing
line.
it
Is that
for
the kiss of
100 years.
death? Good foul shooter. And that's something else we want to watch for Norristown. Remember, Frank, their foul shooting. That's been a problem area in the past. Lever to Jenkins. Norristown might be waiting for one shot. There's 44 seconds left. Well, so much for that. Jenkins on Joe. Ray on the rebound. Doesn't have it. Battling again. Ball is going to stay for Norristown. There's 38 seconds. Coach McGee wants him to spread out. Thompson taking the ball in, comes over to Lever. Lever outside, looking for Jenkins, goes across the court to Crutchfield. Crutchfield launches a 3, Dennis with a rebound. Coming up court, finds Robinson. Lever makes a nice play. Robinson would have had an easy bucket that time. Jimmy Lever comes, knocks the ball away. 25.2 seconds left, Bott inbounding under the Westchester basket. Looking for Dennis, comes outside, nobody there. Kalistra goes back. He's got it. Oh, there's a bad foul.
What a bad foul.
Foul by Jenkins.
Is it 1-and-1
Yes,
yet?
it is. They're in the 1-and-1, so not only is it a bad foul, but it makes it even worse is that you're putting them on the foul line.
I'll tell you, Jim, Dario Ray, he looks like a pretty heavy boy, and I can't believe how high he's jumping.
Kalistra ready, shot is up and good. Matt, if you get a chance at the end of the period, will you add up for us Henderson's foul shooting, what they are at the end of the period? They're shooting very, very well. Kalistra makes them both. We have a tie game coming down to 20 seconds. Period. Jenkins with the ball. You'd like to think the Eagles are going to wait.
I saw that. I wasn't sure the ref saw it, but I saw that foot go out of bounds.
On the end line, on the out of bounds line. Henderson will come up with time to get the last shot off. Folks with the ball, not wasting any time coming up. Here goes Bott. Bott over to Folks. Folks looking underneath. Ball is going around. Robinson has it. Gets it to Dennis with a shot. No good. Kalistra with a shot. He's got it. Kevin Kalistra has the buzzer sound, giving Henderson a 15-13 lead. Led by Robinson with 9. Eagles are led by Lofton Thompson with 10. Kalistra has 4, and a very fast-paced first period, Frank. These teams are going up and down at a pretty breakneck speed.
Jim, how many substitutions has Henderson made?
I don't
3?
think they've had any. Henderson has not put anybody in.
No, so they're going with 5 players. This could make a difference in the second half.
It certainly could, and you always like to see. We've seen years where Norristown has only had 5, 6 players, and it really can wear on you after a while. Basketball is a very wearing sport. What do they have? How many? 12 out of 11. 11 out of 12? 11 out of 12. Yeah. Thanks to Matt Lucas for this quick. Frank shooting 11 out of 12 for the foul line. Westchester
11 out of
in
12.
the first period. And that's pretty fantastic foul shooting.
You can't complain about that.
And the worst thing is, for these next 8 minutes, we are in the 1-and-1. So obviously you don't want to put this team on the foul line. 91%, Matt informs me. Eagles inbound, controlling the ball. Thompson to Lever. Lever to Lopp. Lopp coming over to Thompson. Thompson looks, finds Crutchfield. Crutchfield on the moon to Lopp. Lopp fakes the shot. Back to Crutchfield. Crutchfield launches the jumper off the rim. And there goes Dennis. Thompson up for the rebound, but the ball just went over him. Dennis on the fast break, moving very quickly. Left-handed dribble all the way. We're going to have, looks like a foul on Thompson with the block. That's Thompson's second foul. Starling has 2. Nealman has 2. Frank, and Starling is back in the game. I definitely don't think we could afford to lose Lofton Thompson.
You know, with this foul situation, I wonder if we should be pressing them for the whole length of the court.
Foul shot waved off. Scott Dennis went over the foul line. Norristown will get the ball, and there's a break for the Eagles. We are in the first minute of the second period. Lever with the ball coming down. Frank, I mentioned to you earlier, JV, a 33-point blowout. Some people might think, gee, well, if the JV game's that much, this game will be just as easy. Anything but that. James Lopp with a 3 gives the Eagles the lead 16-15. There's your 3-point shooter, Frank. Lopp can hit from the outside. I think Lever can also. Dennis with the ball bothered. We're going to have another foul. This time it's on Lopp. That's going to be Lopp's second foul.
Looks like the coach wants a timeout.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to make some kind of an adjustment on defense. There are 4 players with 2 fouls each. 10 fouls already. There's still 6:58 left in the half. And you don't want to put this team on the foul line. That's become obvious.
You know, Jim, this seems to be such a different type of ball than McGee was playing last year. Last year, he seemed to play a much slower game, taking longer to set up plays and so on.
Frank, there's your next challenge. I expect Monday night you to be able to come and do that. I'll let you off with 3 backward somersaults. I think one of the reasons, Frank, might be that last year he had a very, very young team, and they were new to him and he was new to them. Don't you suppose this year they've gotten to know each other a little bit better and he feels more comfortable with taking some of the reins off and letting them run?
Yeah, I think so. Jim, what a contrast this is to the girls' game we did this afternoon, where you could see the plays set up and develop, and it was almost like watching
There's a foul shot missed. Robinson on the tip-in for the basket. And Robinson now has 11 points. Warriors back up by 1. Lever to Lopp. Lopp launches the 3 again. No. I have to say this, Frank. Lopp is not bashful about shooting.
No, but when you're open, you got to take them.
Henderson on the move, and this is about the slowest anybody's brought the ball up the whole game. Eagles back in their zone. Folks to Dennis. Dennis is going to come outside to Folks again, up high. Lever's up there. Looks like Norristown's packed the zone in a little bit, Frank.
I think we're willing to give them the outside shot to see if they have one. Maybe they don't have one.
Ball goes out of bounds, off the Eagles. Eagles fans not happy with that call. Throw in being controlled by Kevin Bott. Bott's coming out deep here to Folks.
Oh, looked like he carried
Sure
the ball
did.
there. Walking call there.
Folks to
Jim.
Dennis. Dennis comes back to Folks. Folks reverses to Dennis. Dennis looking for the corner, nothing there. And I think that packed-in zone now has the Warriors slowing down quite a bit. Folks, outside, over to Callister, up at the top of the key.
I would stay in that
Folks
zone.
to Bott. Bott's open for the three. No good. Rebound Robinson. Robinson up. He's got it. And we're going to have a foul.
And I'll tell you, Jim,
Let's
there's
see
no
who that
way
foul is on.
Robinson. There's no way he should get that rebound. There's 4 Norristown players
Foul
under
is
there.
on. No, Crutchfield. Foul is on Crutchfield. That's his first. All you got to hope for, Frank, is that the Henderson players begin wearing down. Robinson with 1 shot, Warriors by 3. Shot is up, he's got it. 4-point Warrior lead, 2016, 5:50 left in the half.
But
Here
Jim,
comes Lever. Over to Lop, Lop up high, back to Lever. Lever launches a 3, no good. This time Callisto high off the board, looks up for Bott. Ball is knocked away by 2. Boy, that could have been dangerous, Frank. You know, you begin to realize you might like to see some pads on those walls.
Yeah.
Bott goes over to Folks. Folks launching a 3. It's short. Rebound Thompson. Lever down court. Pass intercepted by Bott. Picked off by Starling to Lever. Lever has Lop. Finds him underneath with a layup. No good. Starling with a rebound. We're going to have a foul. Big rebound. Foul's going to be on Dennis. I think that might be Dennis's second. It's Mike Starling going to the line. Starling yet to score tonight. Will be on the line shooting 2. Henderson still with only 5 fouls, is not yet in the foul situation. And here come the first 2 subs off the Warrior bench. Starling up, no good on the shot. And Frank, our foul shooting does not look too red hot so far. Callister and Bott are going out. Number 41, Woolhack, is in. And number 25 is Washington. Both underclassmen. So it's Folks, Washington, Woolhack, Robinson, and Dennis in for the Warriors. Bott and Callister have sat down. Goes the ball out. Folks tries to get it into Robinson. Doesn't get it in there. Dennis turns around. Ball is hit. It's off Robinson's hand, out of bounds. Westchester Henderson will take over. Lofton Thompson inbound the ball.
Jim, you can see that whole Westchester team is trying to feed Robinson.
Now, I think under these conditions, I would too. He's getting people into foul trouble. Eagles have Graham and Jameson coming in. Starling over to Lever. Lever with a shot. He's got it. 3-pointer for Lever. 2018. Should be 2020. Can't be 2020. It was just 20-16, wasn't it? We got okay. Ball stolen away by Lever. Lever, Crutchfield, and Thompson. Lever stops at the foul line. Jumper, he's got it. Jimmy Lever puts the Eagles ahead by 2.
That was a nice play by Lever. He didn't have the layup and just to pull up that little popper.
Coming
Smart
to the
move.
4:10 mark. And Frank, interesting, Lever with 2 buckets. Tom McGee sends Jenkins back to take a seat. Obviously, Jenkins was going to come in for Lever. Washington with the ball. Out to Folks. Folks on the move. Comes back to Washington. Washington finds Dennis with a bounce pass. There's Woolhack. Woolhack over to Washington. Washington with a jumper. No. Battle for the boards. Lop not wasting any time. Over to Lever. Lever, no. Lop. Oh, but we got a foul as Lever made the move to the basket. I think the foul may be on number 13, Folks. Let's see. Yes, it is. That's Folks first. Jason Graham coming in. Graham is replacing Crutchfield.
But so far, Jim, it looks like Westchester doesn't have that outside shooter. Their best outside shooter might be Robinson, and he can't play inside and outside at the same time.
Bott has also taken shots from the outside, but hasn't hit him, and he, of course, is now on the bench. Lever rolls the first one in. That's Jim's 7th point. Eagles move off to a 3-point lead, 23-20 with 3:39 left here in the first half. Second shot is up, around, and good. 4-point lead for the Eagles. Folks over to Washington. Washington back to Folks. Lopp. That's James Lopp with a steal. Tried to hit Lever.
Oh, I don't know why that wasn't a foul there.
Lever
Jim.
controlled on the ball. Setting up. Here comes Lopp. Lopp with a jumper outside. No. Rebound Robinson. Up high to control to Folks. Nothing there. No break as the Eagles get back quickly. Folks on the move. Shot. He's got it. That's 4 points for William Folks. And here comes Lever back. 2:55 on the clock. Lofton Thompson over to Lopp. Lever back to Thompson into Starling. Starling turns, looks for Graham underneath. Off his hands. Ball goes out of bounds. Here comes Kevin Bott back in. He's replacing Folks. Here comes number 21. That's Steve Fitch. Another 11th grader off the bench for the Warriors. Robinson stays in, however. It's now Washington and Fitch, Rulehack, Bott, and Robinson. 2 starters, 3 guys off the bench. Washington with the ball. He will run the offense from outside. He goes over to Fitch. Fitch goes back into the corner to Bott. Bott looks for Fitch. Fitch has the long white socks on, Frank. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
There goes Bott, missed a shot, saved. Starling over to Lever. Lever on the move. Lever stops with a jumper around, no good. High off the board, Lopp. He's got it. Lopp has 5. 26-22. Eagles coming down to the 2:10 mark in the first half. And Washington brings the ball up slowly this time, and we're going to have a walk. Took that step before he threw the ball.
It's interesting to see. They don't want to take that outside shot. They want to get it to Robinson.
Sooner or later, figure if the Eagles keep packing that zone in, you're going to have to try it. There goes a steal by Bott. They're on the move. I don't think they have the break. They slow it up. Bott comes outside. Fitch launches a 3. He's got it.
Apparently that's why he was put in.
Steve Fitch makes it a 1-point ball game. Over to Starling. Starling to Lopp. Lopp on the drive, on the move. He's got it. James Lopp with 7. 28-25 Eagles. Here comes Washington back. Over to Bott. Bott launches a 3. In and out. Rebound. Fitch. He's got it. 5 quick points for Steve Fitch. The Warriors trail by 1. Eagles right back. Lever with the ball. Over to Lopp. Lopp comes across to Thompson. Thompson looks. Doesn't have it. Goes back to Lever. Lever finds a 3. Takes it. No. Battle on the board. Graham and Robinson. Robinson wins the battle. We're going to have a reach-in foul on Jason Graham. That's Graham's first, but it's going to send Robinson to the line shooting 1-on-1. 1 minute and 4 seconds left in the half. Eagles up by 1. Lopp and Thompson going to the bench for Norristown. Maybe I'm wrong on that. It's Lever and Lopp. And into the game are Crutchfield and Jenkins. Robinson shooting 1-on-1. First shot. Not out. Battle underneath. Graham controls. Jenkins with the ball. Moving down court. We're under a minute. There goes Jenkins outside. And I wonder, are the Eagles going to hold it out? Over to Thompson. Coming back to Jenkins. Sure looks like the Eagles. Warriors are back in his zone. They're not coming out. Eagles are not going to put it in. Jenkins over to Crutchfield. Crutchfield back to Jenkins. Jenkins on the move now. All the way through. Drives. Doesn't have it. We're going to have a foul. It's going to be on number 41, Chris Rulehack.
You know, Jim, that's some haircut Fitch has. Look, you live down there near Westchester. Maybe you can find out who his barber is for me.
I will do that. Are you interested because you want to go and get a haircut like that?
Hey,
what do you suppose that is? That on letter I or is it?
I'm not sure what it is. At first I thought he had a giant Band-Aid on his head.
Jenkins with a foul shot, no good. Battle on the boards, Robinson up strong. We're heading down to 30 seconds. Bott with the ball, Washington coming up. I think they're going to there's the rule. We got away with a foul there. Ball blocked from behind, reaching over. And you know, Frank, you're almost always going to have the foul called on that play.
Yeah, in fact, I thought he got away with a foul, and he didn't foul him the second time.
That was Lever on the foul. That's his first. There's 26.2 seconds left in the half. Warriors trail by 1, but Washington's on the line shooting 2. Bill Washington, 5'11", junior. Foul shot up, misses. Graham has the rebound over to Jenkins. And you would think this time the Eagles will settle for 1. Over to Lever. Coach McGee is yelling 1 shot. Lever outside. Crutchfield is on his left. Jenkins out on his right. There's Ray in. Got all his players out so they don't get the foul. There's Graham. Foul is going to be called on Rulehack. Graham will go to the line shooting 2. Comes number 11, Kevin Gwynn, an 11th grader who played in the JV game coming in, replacing Lever. Actually, pretty smart move. McGee has all his starters out, so no one's going to get a silly foul here in the last 6 seconds. Will be Graham on the line shooting 1 and 1, I believe. Sorry, Matt corrects me, tells me it's 2. Foul is out. It looks, Frank, like those old foul shooting problems are coming back with the Eagles.
I'll tell you, and this is the kind of game where the foul shooting can decide who wins it.
You hope it doesn't come down to that. Misses both. Ray on the rebound, has the ball taken away from him. Pitch goes. Jenkins say the ball is out of bounds. You have 9/10 of a second. It's almost, I want to say almost, impossible to get a shot off.
Well, as long as you don't give him a clear pass in there. Somebody's got to, that's right, harass him. Don't let him
McGee
throw
is
it.
saying no foul. There goes the ball to Botts. He's going to turn around. Got it. Yeah!
Oh, I don't believe that.
What a play. And he did exactly what you had to do. Didn't come.
Jim, I swear the ball left his hands before he turned his head to look at the basket.
Might have, but he knew what he had to do. Executed it just the way you had to. With that last bucket, Kevin Bott.
I'll tell you.
That's Bott's first 2 points of the half.
You can't get upset over that. That was the gods of basketball.
Frank, it could be worse. That could have been the last shot of the game.
That's true.
And then you really are tearing your hair out.
That's the shot everybody will be thinking of if we lose this by 1 point.
1 point Warrior lead at halftime. Frank, an interesting game. And you know, I'm going to say something that maybe you shouldn't this early in the league. I'd be willing to bet you money that when the district gets down to the final 6 teams that are going to go to the inter-districts, both of these teams are going to be around there at that point.
I think so. You could see that Westchester does have some good substitutes, guys who can come in and shoot, and I was surprised they didn't get in the game sooner, but I guess he felt he didn't need them. But he's got some guys coming off the bench there who can really shoot the ball.
Hey Frank, I'm 0 for 2 today. Try to convince Matt to give the statistics on television. He's promised that he will do it Monday night, making his TV debut here at the Eagle Gymnasium. Stats for the first half in a very close and exciting game, quick-paced game. For the Eagles, Lofton Thompson has 10 points, Starling with 1, Lopp with 7, Lever with 8, Graham with 2. But the figure that we have to be a little concerned about, 2 fouls on Thompson, Starling, Lopp, and Nealman, a total of 13 fouls for the Eagles. That is a lot of fouls to commit in one half. Westchester Henderson, primarily John Robinson, 14 points. He's everything I was led to believe he was. You know, I live in the Westchester area, so I get a chance to read about the Henderson team. Kevin Callistra, William Folks have chipped in with 4 each. Steve Fitch came off the bench to make 5. Kevin Bott with a last but very important 2 shots. Bott with 2 fouls, Dennis with 2, and approximately an 80% foul shooting percentage. And there's a very big difference. I'm almost afraid Eagles look on a very quick glance 4 for 10, 40%. You can't do that and win close games.
Right, when you look at the score up there, if we had shot the 80%, we'd have about a 4 or 5 point lead.
And you've got to hope that that is something that we correct. That has haunted the Eagles for the last 3 or 4 years. think we'll turn it over. We've got to thank our able people up running the camera, Mr. Tony Koya, who is always dependable, Barbara Sliker, and someone who has come back, apparently, a graduate, Paul Bronson, who is helping out. And I promised Mr. Koya that that is all that I will say. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Eagles Gymnasium. We're beginning the second half. Eagles trail by 1. Henderson has the ball to start out. And Matt, you may be my color man for a while. Looks like we lost Frank Winkle. What are we going to do? Here he comes waltzing in like he didn't know the game had started. Bott with the ball outside, and it looks as though, well, no, Jason Graham is in for Norristown, replacing Scotty Nealman. Westchester is back there starting up. We got a walk on Henderson.
I'm back.
Frank, yeah, thank you very much. Interesting situation for Norristown. Jason Graham starting in place of Scotty Nealman, who after he sat down hasn't seen any more action. Lop with the ball, Thompson outside, Lever's over on the right. There goes the ball across to Lever, Lever to Lop, Lop to Thompson. Good ball movement. Thompson with a 3, just off, battling for the bars, Lop. But there's good ball movement, Frank, getting the open shot. And if you can hit 45% of those, I would think Coach McGee would be pretty happy. Here comes Folks with the ball down for Henderson. Over to Robinson, who's moved out a little bit. There's Callistra. Callistra on the move. Starling playing him. Ball into Bott. Bott, nice play to Robinson. And it's going to be Starling on the foul. That's Starling's 3rd. And Robinson's the kind of player, Frank, that draws fouls. You can see that. He
certainly does. And he makes the foul shots. Maybe we can put a curse on him.
Don't you dare curse over this airway. Robinson with the first gives the Warriors a 2-point lead. Nealman off the bench replacing Starling. And that's a move he had to make. Starling in trouble with 3 personal fouls. Robinson ready with a second. It's around, no good. Battle on the boards. Ball comes off. Who's got it? Lever, the battle. Picked up by Lever finally. He's got it on the move. Lever with a drive to the basket. No. Rebound controlled by Folks, who is the smallest Henderson man. Dribbling on Thompson. He goes over to Dennis. Dennis waits, launches the shot, around and out. Battle on the boards. Robinson and Graham. Call goes
I'll tell you, I think we got
Warriors.
away with one there, Jim. I thought he was fouled on that.
Bott going to inbound, looks underneath, nothing there, goes deep to Folks. Folks on the bounce to Robinson, spin jumper, he's got it. John Robinson, they better figure out, they better clog that middle up. 32-28, Henderson up by 4. Thompson on the drive, we're going to have a foul here, it's on 23, Dennis. That's Dennis's 3rd. And so Henderson's going to have to think a little bit about what they're going to do with him. Thompson will be going to the line shooting 2.
I think Henderson's strategy now is spread the teams out, try to get Robinson underneath on somebody with just one-on-one.
Thompson misses. Thompson on the dribble. What was the shot? What was the call? Okay.
Did he step on the line?
Hey, violation on Graham, apparently going into the lane. Quick substitution for Henderson. Fitch is in for Dennis, and that's probably one they had to make. Shot no good. Battle rebound. It's a jump ball. Robinson tied up. Should be the Eagles' ball.
I'll tell you, Jim, Robinson got that rebound being under there with 4 Norristown players. There's Ray coming in again.
Thompson ready with it. Ray in, replacing Graham. It's Lever, Thompson, Ray, Lop, Nealman. Lever with a shot in and out. We got a foul underneath, and it must be on.
I think it's on Nealman.
I think it's on Nealman. If it is, that's his 3rd. And we have a quick timeout for Coach McGee, who I think is pretty concerned with what he sees. There's 6 minutes and 19 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Norristown Eagles are trailing by 4, and I really do think that McGee is very concerned. The fouls are building up again, and both of his big men are in trouble.
He has to figure out some way to defense Robinson.
He may have to put a man in front of him, and then you take the chance on whether they can make the outside shot. But they haven't appeared to be a really strong outside shooting team so far.
Well, it looks like what Westchester has done the second half is to have their team spread out offensively, trying to leave Robinson all alone under the basket with just one of our players.
Let's check out next time. We should be playing zone, don't you think so right now?
I would think we have to.
Let's check that out and see as they come down. Thompson, Lever, Lopp, Ray, and Nealman. Callistra, Bott, Robinson, Folks, and Fitch. There goes a pass away with a cut. Folks throwing it out of bounds.
Well, I see he's put Ray on Robinson. Does Ray have any fouls? Is that the strategy? The guy with the least number of fouls plays
Ray has
Robinson?
one, but Ray's also, if you notice something, Frank, Robinson's very strong at getting position, and Ray may be big enough to keep him from getting position. There's a foul on Lopp, and that's the third foul on him. I think maybe that's why you're playing him with Ray. Still want to check out to see, are we playing man-to-man here? Or how? Yeah, it looks as though we're playing man-to-man. And you're right, Ray is on Robinson. He's going to try to deny him the ball is what he's going to do. Ball goes to Fitch. Fitch looks for Callistra. Callistra loses it. Nealman picks it up. Nealman has the ball taken from him by Robinson on the move. No good. Ray Battling's got the rebound over to Thompson. Thompson moving up quickly. Reverse dribble. Comes up to the top of the key. Thompson goes over to Lopp. Back to Thompson. Thompson to Lever. Lever outside. Henderson playing a zone. Slop over to Thompson. Back to Lopp. Lopp launches a three. No. Nealman battling on the board. He's got it. Takes the dribble with a move. He's got it. Scotty Nealman with his first two. And that's what they need from Scott. Some rebounds. Get the ball back up. Eagles down by 2. 5:05 left. Folks on the drive. Over to Callistra. Easy layup. Nice play, William Folks. Crutchfield off the Eagles bench getting ready to come in. Warrior lead back to 4. There's Thompson. Goes across to Lopp. Lopp on the drive. Stops for the jumper. And we're going to have a foul. Oh! What was the call? Offensive foul, Lopp. And that's the 4th foul. And you know, Frank, there's a shame. He's got Crutchfield ready to come in. Lopp's already got 3. And by going strong to the basket, he draws his 4th personal. And now you got to keep him out until the 4th quarter. And he's one of our biggest threats from the outside. Bott with the ball outside in the corner to Fitch. Fitch comes out to Folks. Folks on the dribble on Lever. Looks over to Bott. Bott's got the three-pointer up. No good. Rebound. Battle. Thompson. Quicker to the ball than Callistra. Lever gives to Crutchfield. Boy, you know, Frank, I want to talk about something with you the next time out. Remind me. Big battle for the ball. Thompson on the floor.
Walking. He's going to...
Frank, there is a really heady play by Lofton Thompson. He knew that he was going to get tied up on the floor, called the timeout. Really, a smart, a 10th grader making that play. They're college players that you wouldn't see smart enough to make that play.
I'll tell you, Jim, this is really an intense game for an opening game.
Frank, I have a question I want to ask you. We are not hesitant in throwing up that three-point shot. We're not hitting. What do you think? Smart strategy to keep shooting like that, or try to work the ball in a little bit?
Well, Jim, we should be able to rebound with these guys. So if you have the open shot, well, I don't know about the three-pointer, but to me, if you get within 10 feet of that basket and you can take a jump shot, you got to take it.
Yeah, the shots that we're shooting are from that three-point land.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I think we can get shots closer in.
I think we have, and we're not keeping the stats early on, but eventually Matt will be able to get this for us. I bet our shooting percentage tonight is very, very low.
But there are shots other than a layup or a three-pointer. There's that 10-foot jump shot.
McGee was very upset before that timeout. Let's see what he's... Oh, there goes the pass. Jenkins not even looking. Ball back to Bot on the drive, no good. Rebound, Callister controls, comes outside to Fitch. Fitch to Folks. Folks almost loses. Finds Callister. Callister on the move, nothing there. Out to Folks. Folks fakes the three on the drive, shoots a jumper, no. Battle for the board. Robinson plays it. Thompson controls. There's Lever up court. Ball goes too far. Lever controls. Smart move. Doesn't force it. Comes out to Thompson. Thompson goes to Jenkins. Jenkins is going to come back outside to Thompson. Thompson launches the three. No good. Rebound Robinson. We may have a push out on Robinson. We do. First foul on Robinson.
Is that his first foul?
Yeah, caught him pushing off. Thompson will be inbounding underneath the Eagle basket. 3:36 left. Eagles down by 4. You got to remember, the Eagles have only scored 2 points so far this period. Shot by Crutchfield, no good. Eagles having a really bad... There goes the lead pass to Robinson.
And how did he get all alone?
And there's a bad play. Kind of gives your coach a gray hair. Lever misses. Jenkins with a rebound out to Thompson. Thompson on the dribble. Comes to Lever. Robinson tried to dunk and miss it. You better make that dunk if you're going to take it. We have visions of that, don't we, Frank?
How many games have we seen lost because a guy missed a dunk?
Eagles on a throwaway. Folks coming down court with a dribble. And play has gotten pretty sloppy now, Frank. Now it looks more like an opening game. We're going to have the foul on Jenkins. It's the 5th foul against Norristown. Here comes Jason Graham replacing Daryl Ray.
I hate that last call because it's a kind of call, if the ref could have called it the other way. He could have called that one either way, and I wish they would just keep their mouth shut.
Matt Lucas shows me that Norristown has scored just 2 points in over 5 minutes. They've hit a real dry spell. Robinson on the drive with the goal. The foul is on Jason Graham. That's his second. Robinson now with 19 points, shooting 1. Warriors have stretched out their lead to 6. Warrior lead is now 7 as Graham hits 20, or excuse me, Robinson hits 20 points. Westchester back in a 2-1-2 zone. Lever on the move, nothing there. Over to Thompson. Thompson to Lever. Lever launches the 3, in and out. Fitch on the move on the rebound, back to Bott. And the Eagles have gone absolutely cold. There's Bott. Bott looking for Robinson, finds him, foul on Crutchfield. And now, Frank, once again, for the remaining 10 minutes and 23 seconds, Henderson will be shooting 1-on-1. A big, big factor.
Well, Jim, how many field goals does Henderson have this half?
In fact, they're in the bonus.
It's like our defense isn't that bad because Henderson doesn't have that many points this half.
Now they've outscored us 9-2.
Weren't they up by 2 at
They're
the...
up by 1.
Up by 1.
They've outscored us 9-2, 10-2. Robinson makes them both 22 points. Eagles now down by 9. And the Eagles need someone to break this cold spell. Lever to Jenkins. Jenkins on the move. We're going to have a foul. I think it's going to be on Folks. 19 personal fouls, Frank, for the Eagles tonight. That's a ton of fouls. Here comes Lever for the ball. He's got Jenkins on his right. Graham is at the top of the key. Thompson is off to the left. Thompson on the drive, gives to Lever. Lever launches the 3 off the rim, gets his rebound on the drive, rolls the left hand, no good. And the Eagles are on the line, and the Eagles, Frank, just look really frustrated now. Here comes full court pressure. Inbound goes to Robinson. Robinson,
you can see they even want Robinson to bring it up.
Finds Folks, and we're going to have a out of bounds. Folks is out of bounds. Eagles need to find somebody who can hit that basket. Lever and Jenkins in the backcourt.
I don't think we're going to be able to press these guys, Jim.
They're pretty quick. And also, if Robinson can dribble, that's a big asset to have a big man that can dribble the ball. Lever with a jumper. It's no good. Battle on the boards. Tipped off to Bott. There's a good call. Fitch stepped in from out of bounds. Ball goes over to Norristown.
Oh, I thought that was a hometown call.
Starling in. Here comes Graham out. McGee substituting, trying to find a combination that can buy some baskets. Here goes Lever. Lever over to Thompson. Thompson to Jenkins. Jenkins looking, finds Crutchfield. Crutchfield up high on the drive, on the move, throws it up. He's off. We're going to have a foul. Foul is on Callistra. His second. And there's a bad foul, Frank, because I don't think there's a prayer in the world that that shot was going in.
No.
Crutchfield on the line. Seems right now, Frank, this is settled into just foul after foul. Crutchfield will be shooting, should be 2. First shot up, he's got it. That breaks the drought. Washington in for Folks for Henderson. Crutchfield will be shooting the second one. There's 1 minute and 15 seconds left in the period. Eagles trail by 8. Crutchfield up, in and out, and that's been the story of this period. Lever steals the ball, but gets a foul on the steal. That's Lever's second personal foul. Henderson will be going down to shoot 1-1. You know, Frank, Henderson can win this game just by going to the line the rest of the day.
Well, that's why I don't think we can press them. Every time we foul them, they're going to make the foul shots.
Callistra's got it. Makes the first. 40-31 Warrior. It's a chance to give them their biggest lead of the night. Warriors up by 10, and that is the biggest lead of the evening. Eagles need to get hitting. Thompson on the spin move. Over to Lever. Lever to Thompson. Back to Lever. Lever fakes. Doesn't have it. Back to Thompson. Thompson on the drive. Stops. Launches a jumper. But Washington on defense right there in his face. Callistra with a rebound. Over to Washington. Washington on the move. Almost loses it. 2-on-1. Jenkins almost makes the steal. Ball goes out of bounds. Ball will return to Henderson. Tough defense by Omar Jenkins. Ball comes to Fitch. Over to Bott. Bott to Robinson. They broke the press. Bounce pass to Callistra. He's in. No. Robinson on the tip. He's got it. 24 for Robinson. 12-point lead for Henderson. And the Eagles, just Frank, have gone absolutely stone cold. Jenkins with the ball. Underneath to the pass. Stolen by Fitch. Fitch coming on the break. Fitch going all the way. Over to Robinson. It was actually a backboard pass. Battling on the board. Robinson with the rebound off of his foot.
But Jim, look how many shots they got under our basket there. They got 4 chances to put that ball up.
Goes the ball across to Jenkins, over to Lever. Lever launches a 3. Just cannot hit. And that's the buzzer. The end of that period. In that period, Frank, Eagles outscored 14-3 as the Warriors from Westchester Henderson moved to a 43-31 lead.
And Jim, what it looks like now is Westchester's just going to play a zone and give us that outside shot.
Now, what would you do?
Yeah. Until somebody starts making it.
That's the thing. You make it. Frank, at a guess, what do you think our shooting percentage is tonight? Just with a guess.
Well, it's less than 50%.
Yeah, under 30 maybe?
Yeah.
I think this is about as cold as I remember our team. What about you?
Yeah, and Westchester, you just can't get anything underneath from them. Most of our baskets, if you recall early in the game, a lot of them were on fast breaks.
The other ominous sign tonight, I think, Frank, is that here we are with 8 minutes left. The Eagles have to mount a comeback, but they're already in the foul situation where every foul is going to be a one-on-one. Very hard to come back when a team shoots fouls as well as Henderson has done so far tonight.
Well, and the thing is, if we start to come back, let's say we get within 5, Westchester will probably start to freeze the ball. And how do we get it from them without fouling them?
Bott in front of us to inbound. Folks is in. Henderson actually had 6 guys out in the court, and Washington just realized he wasn't supposed to be there and got off the court. Norristown's in a tight man-to-man now. It's Jenkins, Thompson, Lever, Lopp, and Crutchfield. And Frank, here's a very interesting matchup. Lopp with 4 fouls is playing Robinson.
Well, at this point, you have no choice.
Bott with the ball over to Folks. Folks takes it back out. Jenkins pressuring him. But certainly, Westchester will be in no hurry to shoot. Pass goes
that
into
was
Bott.
a beautiful setup play.
Easy basket. Pass coming from Bott. Lopp over in the corner. Crutchfield on the drive. But you notice where that drives? There's always a Westchester player, Frank, standing right there to cut him off from the basket. They're going to have to pull up and shoot the jumper. Westchester timeout, just as they were ready to give up the ball. 7-14, Eagles down by 14.
This is the type of game, Jim, where I say you need the guy who can hit that 10-foot jump shot, because you're not going to get anything underneath. You can't live and die on 3-point shots. You need somebody who, when they get open at 10 feet away, they can make that jump shot.
Henderson appears to be a very well-coached team, Frank. They're not going to panic. They look for that open man, rebound well.
Well, they set up plays nicely. You can see them, each man moving to his position. I mean, it's not a street basketball team. They're a well-coached team.
Be nice to see if the Eagles can make something of a dent into this and mount somewhat of a comeback. Number 11, Kevin Gwynn in the lineup for the Eagles. He played earlier in the JV game. There's Folks with the ball. There goes. Breaks the press to Robinson. Robinson on the move. We're going to have a foul on Lopp. That's his 5th foul. James Lopp.
Was that on Lopp?
I thought it was. Maybe not. Maybe he only had maybe that's only his 4th. Robinson makes the foul shot. 25 points for John Robinson.
That's more than half of their score.
Yep. There they go out to a 16-point lead. And this is really surprising, Frank, that we could be behind by that much. You know, in this game, ball off of Lopp's hands. There's the ball to Robinson. Robinson back to Folks. Folks on the move. Ball taken away by Thompson. Thompson on the fast break. Ball hit by Bott.
There's a technical for
There's a really dumb play if it's a technical. I wonder what they're going to call on this. He's allowed on that rim if it's to catch himself, to protect himself. But he can't hang on that or it's a technical foul. Let's see what the call is.
Well, they may let us shoot the foul shot.
Well, they will, but it's a question of whether there's a technical foul. Let's see what the call is. Foul was on Bott, I think, number 43. Referees are talking to one another. Now, I think Crutchfield was claiming that he might have been shoved as he was going in there, but if he was coming in to follow, I think he's allowed to catch himself on that.
But it depends on what the referees saw.
Yeah, I don't think they called a technical. The referee wants to talk to the coach. He's talking to both coaches. We have no idea what this conversation is about. I couldn't see what happened, but Crutchfield certainly knows he shouldn't have done that, and he turned right away to say something to the referee.
Yeah, I suspect the ref is saying that he had to do that to protect himself.
It'll be Lofton Thompson shooting. The Eagles simply need to get on the board. They need to get on the board. Thompson shot up, no good off the front of the rim.
Well, when it rains, it pours.
Thompson ready. As I said, Eagles have just gone absolutely cold the second half. Score at the half was 29-28 Westchester. Eagles, almost 10 minutes into the half, have just 4 points. Pressure broken. Ball taken away by Lopp. Nice play. Robinson was open underneath. Lopp stops, throws up the shot. He's got it. The 2-point shot for Lopp. 2 points. But it's still a long way back. Here goes Robinson with the ball. Pressure on him. There's Folks underneath. Callistra on the move. He's got it. And Eagles overplaying with 2 or 3 players on a Warrior. Wide open for the pass, and it looks like they know how to hit the open man. Shot by Gwynn, no good. Thompson battles underneath. Robinson controls. Ball comes over to Dennis. Dennis knocked out of bounds by Lever.
But Jim, what I don't like is when someone on Norristown is taking that long shot, the other players aren't going for the boards. They're just standing watching.
Here comes Folks. Folks to Robinson. Robinson to Dennis. Dennis to Callistra. Underneath, he's got it. Another good ball handling play by the Warriors. Callistra with 12 points. Here goes Lopp. Lopp shooting off the rim. Folks, Tom McGee was trying to get a timeout. Ball goes out of bounds. Eagles call a timeout. Now, Frank, I'm going to say something. I know we're not supposed to be critical, but one thing I see about the Eagles, and this is something I was afraid of, we noticed it in Hatboro Horsham, they're not looking for anybody open. First guy down is throwing the ball up now. You don't win ball games when you play that way.
Well, and as I was saying, they're really not rebounding. Somebody shoots the ball and everybody stands in place and watches.
Got to move that ball around. They know that Henderson's going to pack it in, but find the open man who's as close as possible to the goal. Disappointing second half here for Norristown. Certainly couldn't have been that last shot of the first half that makes you, play like this. They come out, they're 1 point down. Just couldn't hit a bucket.
Now you're watching the Norristown cheerleaders. Captains this year are Heather DePiero, Lori Lester, and Tammy Kane.
5 minutes and 42 seconds left here in the game. Westchester Henderson with an 18-point margin. This is a long way back for the Eagles. Lopp, Thompson, Starling, Jenkins, and Lever.
Westchester's going to play that zone, force us to take the outside shot.
Lever in and out. And Frank, how many times have we seen that tonight? Folks on the drive, ball taken away by Thompson. Thompson finds Lopp. Don't dunk it.
I don't know what all the cheering's about, Jim.
I was thinking the same thing. We got it dunk. Now we're only 16 down.
I know. That's what Tom McGee is doing. Tom McGee's pointed to the scoreboard and said, look at the score.
That's like, you watch the Eagles game, Mark McMillan, who makes a simple little play and goes bouncing around the field like, he's done something spectacular. Lopp shooting one, can cut the lead to 15. Shot is up, he's got it. 51,
so now it's
36.
only 15.
Crutchfield in. Takes Lopp out. There's a message sent, Frank. The message has been sent. The message is that's not what you do. You make the sure layup. Coach McGee is not happy. Foul was on Crutchfield. Dennis is going to the line, and all that they can do is hope that the Warriors of Henderson miss their shots. And he did. Rebound up, no good. Battle on the boards, coming out with Crutchfield. Over to Jenkins. Jenkins launches a shot, no good. Back with a rebound. Ball blocked by Callistra. McGee did a very smart thing there, Frank. He took Lopp out. He had something to say to him, but rather than to put him on the bench, he sends him right back into the game. Ball comes to Jenkins. Jenkins to Lever. Lever over to Jenkins. Jenkins to Lever. Lever to Lopp. Lopp launches the three. No good. Way short. Battle underneath. Ball is off. Robinson makes the play off of Thompson. Ball goes out of bounds. Warriors will inbound. Bott handling the ball. 4:50 left in the game. Here comes Folks. Folks loses the ball to Jenkins. Jenkins to Thompson. Thompson reverses to Jenkins. Jenkins to Lever. Lever with a three. No, it's short. Nothing there. They're not even hitting the... There goes the deep pass for Robinson. Oh.
Is he calling that an intentional foul?
I don't like that call at all. I do not like that call.
Oh, that's a terrible call.
Omar Jenkins did what he had to do. And he made actually a pretty decent play.
Yeah, that's not what they mean by an intentional foul.
If you shove the guy or hit him from the rear, yeah, then it's an intentional foul.
I don't believe that call.
No. It'd be a lot worse, Frank, if this were a two-point game. Robinson misses the first shot. Makes the second. The Warriors will maintain possession. How many points is that for Robinson, Matt? 27 points, thank you. Ball stolen away by Lopp. Callistra blocking, and the foul on him is his third. Norristown will be in the 1-on-1. And you'd like to see the Eagles make these. Jim Lopp on the line. Lopp with 12. Balls around and out. Geez, I wonder how many balls have gone around and out tonight, Frank, for the Eagles.
Yeah, you would think this was Westchester's home court instead
Bott
of
on
ours.
the dribble, over to Callistra. Callistra, ball blocked. Back Callistra. Callistra has it. That's 14 for Callistra, who has really helped out. Here comes Jenkins back. Jenkins to Lever. Lever outside to Lopp. Lopp launches the three, in and out. Rebound, Starling, blocked by Robinson. Going to have a foul. Robinson
I'm not sure there was a foul on that shot. I don't know. It seems like the refs make it an automatic call these days.
Between the games this afternoon and tonight, Frank, we've seen a lot of fouls. Maybe the officials have decided this year to call them close, with the idea that you're going to prevent any bad situation. Crutchfield misses the, Starling misses the first. Ready with a second, he's got it. Eagles trail by 16. They haven't really been able to make much of a dent in that margin. Bott finds Robinson. Robinson makes
what a
nice
play by Robinson.
What a great play by Robinson. Over to Callistra. Callistra with 16. Here goes Lopp. Missing, the ball comes back. Washington, we're going to have a foul. Can't tell who the foul is on. I think it's on Jenkins. It's going to be Washington. Bill Washington on the line. 3:39. Play has gotten pretty sloppy, Frank.
Yeah, this is certainly a very humbling experience for the Eagles.
Eagles only have 10 points this half. Shot around and in. Ball comes out, Lever on control. With a dribble, goes in for the layup, misses. Starling with a follow, he's got it, and the foul. Foul's going to be on 23, Dennis. I think that might be his fourth. Fitch is off the bench. Folks is off the bench. Dennis is out, and
looks like they want a
out. Might be Callistra. Warriors want a timeout. Wouldn't surprise me to see him slow the ball down. Frank, first home game of the year, high expectations, trailing by 17. Is possibly a loss like this actually not a bad loss to take from the standpoint that if your players were getting to think that they were pretty good and we're going to run through the season, and maybe this humbles you pretty early on?
I think there are some advantages of that. It certainly tells you you need a lot of work. And think of how many times in the past where the first 3 weeks of the season, Norristown would be rated in the top 10, and that wasn't good. They got big heads, stopped working hard, and just went down in the ratings.
Well, you certainly know that Coach McGee is going to work them hard after this game.
We need some offensive shooting. You can't shoot a percentage that we're shooting and win games.
I think looks like we might need some offensive cohesion too.
And if you look at it, Westchester does not have that many field goals. If you take away their foul shots, we've actually played pretty good defense. But you got to score to win the game.
Starling on the foul line will be shooting one, trying to close the margin to 16. Shot is up, in and out. How many times have we said that tonight? Thompson back with a rebound. Thompson with 13. And he'd been held in check after those 10 early points. Folks quickly over to Fitch. Fitch goes back to Folks. Folks comes across court to Washington. Yep. Henderson apparently going to be willing to not force it. Out to Bott. Bott to Folks. Folks
no
over to
pressing
Washington.
These guys.
Washington on the move over to Bott.
Watch for the quick pass to Robinson underneath.
Bott to Fitch. Attempt to double him. Throws the ball away, but we got the foul. Foul is going to be on Lever. That is Lever's third. Henderson will be on the line shooting 1-on-1. It's Steve Fitch. Came off the bench to score 5 early points very quickly in the first half. Started the second half, but did not score. Fitch's shot in and out. Robinson with a rebound, though, goes up. He's got it. I think that's 29 for John Robinson. Is that right, 29? Goes the pass into Starling. Starling to Lever. Lever launches the jumper. He's got it. 3. Three-pointer for Jimmy Lever. 15. And there's a foul on Lever. It'll be Bott going to the line shooting 1. Fourth foul on Lever. 2:28 left in the game. That's 5 on Lever. Maybe a foul that we gave to Lopp earlier was really Lever's. Lever scored 11 tonight, but I think he might be the first one to admit that his shooting really was not on.
I'll tell you, Westchester has a good team. They do have some depth, good shooting, great foul shooting. It's going to be interesting to see as the season goes along what kind of people give them a good game.
Well, you know, in their league is Coatesville. We're going to see them, and Coatesville is always tough.
Do they play Glen Mills?
They might play them in a non-league game. Wouldn't surprise you, because you know they're in that strange league with only 4 teams, so they got to pick up a lot of outside games. They'll play a lot of Central League teams.
Glen Mills is the team you never know about.
Here come the Warriors. Fitch with the ball over to Washington. Back to Fitch. We're down below 210. This is Fitch. Cross to Folks. Folks to Washington. Jenkins has got to get out on him. Washington with a move. Shoots a jumper from the foul line. No good. Gets his rebound. Falls. No good. Robinson.
Oh, he caused the technical there.
I can't believe that. That is a bad call.
Oh.
That is a
I'll tell you, if
bad
this was
call.
a 2-point game, I think their coach would be looking for a gun.
Robinson now with 31. After the last one we saw, that is tough.
Some
Robinson
referees
with a
don't.
follow-up
Some
dunk.
referees may be great referees, but they need a little common sense.
I'd like to see Norristown turn this into a 4-point play. Thompson shooting 2. First one is up. It's around and out.
Oh, it's been one of those nights.
Second shot up, around, no good. Eagles will take the ball out. As we said, Frank, thank God it's not a 2 or 3 point game. Over to Jenkins. In with Starling. You got Lopp. Thompson on the move. He's got it. Thompson now with 15. But really, he had been held in check for almost 2 periods.
Well, I was surprised that Thompson didn't shoot more often. He made those jump shots, and then he stopped shooting.
Frank, yeah, but in all honesty, Lopp and Lever were throwing the ball up a lot. Thompson didn't get that much of a chance to shoot. Ball comes into Crutchfield. Crutchfield launches a 3. No good. Here comes Folks out with the ball. We're coming down to the 135 mark. Across to Fitch. Over to Folks. Folks to Washington. Washington out to Folks. Folks back to Washington. Henderson perfectly content to hold the ball outside. Over to Fitch. Fitch being pestered. Attempt for the steal. Comes back to Fitch. Fitch finds. There he is. Washington. Washington makes the basket. 63-47. There goes Lopp. Lopp stops for the jumper. No good. Rebound Robinson high. Going to have a foul. Foul's going to be on Crutchfield.
Jim, I don't want to even think about what our shooting percentage is tonight.
Crutchfield. Crutchfield on the foul. Robinson will be going to the line. He will be shooting one-on-one. Kind of surprised his coach has left Robinson in. I mean, why take a chance on a guy getting hurt in a game where the decision has already been decided?
It might be one of those things where for scholarships and things like that, they want him to, he might have some great opportunities if he scores a lot of points this year.
I think probably people already know about him. Makes them both. I think that gives him 33 for the evening. Norristown ready with a whole different team off the bench. There goes Jenkins. Nothing but air. Bott on the rebound. Finds Fitch. Fitch dribbling. And we're going to have the foul on number 40, Thompson. Eagles coming off with 5 new players.
It's funny seeing Fitch in the white socks. Remember years ago, everybody wore them?
Yep. Number 11, Kevin Gwynn. For 54 is Jason Graham. For 52 is Ahmad Johnson. Scotty Nealman. Number 50, Dawood Johnson. Henderson in with Bott. Kalistra. Savitsky.
I'll tell you,
Kelly.
Jim, if you told me at halftime somebody was going to win this game by 20 points, I would have laughed at you.
Chris Lenardi. Fitch makes the first, ready with the second. He'll be coming out after this one. It's good. 20-point Henderson lead, 53 seconds left. And the Eagles with an entirely different team. It's Ahmad Johnson with the ball. 2 Johnsons are in. Over to Gwynn. Gwynn launches the jumper, no good. Nealman battling. Nealman almost controls the ball. Coming out is number 15. That's Will Ray. And Scotty Nealman with a foul. And it will be number 15, Ray, going to the foul line. He will be shooting 1 and 1. And the coach is warning him to just take it easy. Don't do anything stupid. 67-47, 41.3 seconds. and really a surprising result and a very disappointing result, certainly for the Eagles of Norristown and Tom McGee. Ray shot up. His shot, and there it is, sneaks in. Our shots have been falling out, but that hasn't been the story of the game.
Now, Jim, I've been a little disappointed in our rebounding. I was hoping for better rebounding.
Ray makes two. Doesn't seem to matter who's in there for Henderson. They can shoot foul. Johnson up with the ball. Got Johnson and Johnson. Johnson's going to launch a three. He's got it. That's number 52, Ahmad Johnson, 12th grader, 5'7", hitting. Comes number 11, Kelly with the ball. Over to 45, who is John Savitsky. Can't keep up with this, Frank. Kelly on the ball. Comes across to Ray. Ray is there. Number 33 is Brown. Shot up. Who made that one? That was Ray, I think, with his fourth. It's a 21-point lead. Time running out. Ball on the rebound. There's another one. Shot is off. The shot counts by Jason Graham. Final score will be 71 to 52. Favor of the Warriors of Westchester.
And I think the Norristown players can see they got their work cut out for them. Of course, you got to realize Westchester is one of the better teams in the area.
Fortunately, again, if there is such a thing as a good time, it's better to have it happen right now, early on in the year, rather than later on in the playoffs. We've seen Norristown go cold in playoffs before. And I think, Frank, this is going to make them all sit up and take notice, that you can't just roll the ball out in court and think that you're going to win games automatically. You're going to have to go out there and play, and you can't just fire the ball up from any part of the court and think you're going to win.
I think we got to work more on the shorter jump shot and more on crashing the boards and the rebounds. When a guy takes a shot, everybody just can't stand in place and look and watch it go up. Somebody's got to crash those boards.
Very true. Want to thank again, Frank, Matt Lucas, who came here to help us with our statistics. And here are the final stats. For Henderson, a very powerful opening game as John Robinson scores 33 points, making it looks like maybe 17 out of 20 or so on the foul line. Giving support, Kevin Callistro with 16, Steve Fitch with 7, Will Ray with 4, William Folks with 4, Kevin Bott with 4, and Bill Washington with 3. For the Eagles of Norristown, Lofton Thompson with 15, James Lopp with 12, Jim Lever with 11, Mike Starling with 4, Jason Graham with 4, Ahmad Johnson with 3, Ty Crutchfield with 1, Scott Nealman with 2. And Frank, coming off of this opening game, what are some of the things you think we can look forward to as Norristown moves into the next game? Another real tough one with Penwood. What would you expect Norristown to concentrate on?
Well, Jim, I don't know how you increase shooting percentage, because you really, shooting in practice and shooting in the game aren't the same. You just got to get some games under your belt. But I think offensively, we can't say either make a layup or make a three-pointer. There has to be other ways to score.
Yes, Henderson certainly played a tough zone. Once again, in what has to be a very disappointing evening for Coach McGee and his players, the Westchester Henderson Warriors with a convincing 19-point, 71-52 victory over the Eagles of Norristown. We hope see you fans out here supporting this Eagles team. We have Penwood. We begin our league games very shortly, and it's a schedule that should be attractive. Once again, Jim Nelson and Frank Winkle, voices of the Eagles, saying that we hope only to see better results coming up in future games.
We'll be back here Monday night against Penwood.